Hello and welcome to Runkle of the Bailey. My name is Ian Runkle. I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. Today I want to talk about something that's less of a legal issue and more of a social rant. So if that's not your thing, this won't be the video for you. However, recently I was out shopping and I saw a sign that I thought I'd share with you guys. It says, "To our valued customers, in the interest of public safety, please do not peel corn. Thank you for your understanding." Now, when they say public safety here, clearly what they mean is the spread of disease, and in particular COVID, because obviously this is not corn where if you peel it, it's going to explode or catch fire. This corn is not going to go on to commit crimes. This is not drug dealing corn, or it's not going to be behind the next cyber attack. No, this is a disease issue. Now, if you look at this picture, you can see that unfortunately their customers have really not been on board. There is some unpeeled corn still left in that bin, but there's a ton of corn husks. So people have been peeling the corn, notwithstanding the public safety risks here. Now, I personally was very surprised to learn that corn is a public safety risk because I personally like corn on the cob. But when I buy it, I'm typically taking it home and boiling it or cooking it in the oven, or my personal favorite, barbecuing it. Barbecued corn on the cob is, of course, excellent. But apparently there is a giant pool of people out there who are buying corn on the cob and taking it home and just nomming down on some raw corn. Now, I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to say, "Hey, Runkle, you're missing out. That is the best way to eat corn on the cob." But it's not the most common by a long shot. So this whole thought of, this is going to spread disease really requires that there's this big pool of people doing that. Now, when you think of some of the other things that they sell at the supermarket, I mean, if peeled corn on the cob is too dangerous, what about the apples? What about the nectarines? What about the grapes? All of these things. So maybe there's something else going on here other than a giant public safety risk. Maybe there's a reason that the CDC hasn't put out warning corn messages. Well, it's because this is actually a different issue entirely. Retailers and consumers have very different interests when you start talking about this particular scenario. As a consumer, I want to buy good corn. So, you inspect it. You want to make sure that you're not buying something that never developed, that's dried out, that's rotting in some fashion. And if you do find that that's what's going on with your corn, you leave it behind. You don't buy it. But the retailer is much happier if you never find that out, if you go home and you've already paid for it. Because if you get home and you find that one of the corn on the cob that you bought is no good, you're probably not going to say, "You know what, I'm getting in my car, I'm driving back there, and I'm going to return one corn on the cob." Probably not, right? You're going to spend more on gas doing it. You're going to feel ridiculous. "I want to return one corn, please." Come on. However, for you, that's not a whole lot of money. But for the retailer, that adds up. You're talking about little gains repeated thousands and thousands of times. That turns into real money. So the retailer has an incentive here, which is different than yours. Fair enough. But don't tell me it's for public safety. You get similar examples in the environment frame. So disposable plastic bags, the single-use plastic bags that everyone's making a big deal about, for your own good, we have gotten rid of these. Well, researchers have said that it may not actually be a big benefit. In fact, it may be detrimental to get rid of the plastic bags. But for the company, this is a no-brainer. Right now, they provide plastic bags, and those are a loss leader. It costs them money to do it. However, they can get rid of that, and they can force you to use reusable bags that they can sell you at a profit. They're turning a loss into a profit center. No wonder they're all suddenly on board with "for the environment." Yeah. So this really breeds cynicism, because when we have public health officials or anybody telling us, "Listen, it's important you do these things, it's for the good of yourself or the good of the public or, the environment," whatever it is, we see these cynical, exploitative measures to take advantage. We've got our politicians saying, "Listen, we want to ban single-use plastics, but not like clamshell packaging, which really benefits the retailers. We want to ban all the things they give away to you for free and make you have to start paying for those." how's that helping the consumer? How's that helping the little guy? All of these measures seem to help the big companies. I would be a lot more impressed if they were saying, listen, because of the public health issues, we're going to do something that actually costs us money. Or in the case of governments, that actually supported the little guy, the consumer, instead of the major retailers. When we see these plastic bans, they're going to be riddled with exceptions for things like clamshell packaging. That's stuff that's, difficult to get into and results in a number of injuries every year because people end up going to the emergency ward because they were trying to dig into a package with a knife going, and they ended up with the knife, lodged in their palm. This is really frustrating to me. There are issues out there that are of serious concern, but it's really hard to tell the difference when we have these trivializing messages. In the interest of public safety. No, just come out and say it. In the interest of your profit margins, you don't want us mangling the corn. Cool. Anyway, I've probably said enough on this. Seeing that just ticked me off because corn is such a ridiculous example. They've got similar signs up there saying, because of public safety, please don't, squeeze the whatever. They don't want you touching the fruit. But of course, whenever you buy fruit or vegetables that you're going to eat, don't people clean the stuff that they buy? I mean, I always am thinking, if I'm buying this zucchini, the person that last handled this zucchini might be a single parent who just finished changing a diaper out in the parking lot and sort of wiped their hands on their pants, but that's as clean as they've gotten it. You don't know what the last person might have had their finger up their nose or somewhere else just before they handled your food, so of course you wash it. Corn is not a public safety risk. Oh well, I've said enough on that topic. I'll get back to legal topics next week, or next video. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'd say I hope that this has been educational, but I know this is just a rant. I also want to thank my Patreon subscribers at the $50 level: Sir Daniel Wicks of Alberta, Jason Elliott, Canada's National Farms Association, North Central Process Service, Kyle Martin, Jean-Guy Toussaint, Ivo Nedev, Christopher Molina, the CCFR, and the Canadian Shooting Sports Association. At the $30 level, Sights and Arms Limited and Marc-Olivier Damour. And at the $20 level, Matt Ward, Mark Whittington, Dale Nesbitt, Cameron Johnson, Andrew Elsich, and Adam Meester. Thank you as well to everyone at the $10 level who will be in the crawl immediately following. Sorry, this isn't my usual content. Normally I try to stick to law, but this just ticked me off. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this has armed you with knowledge, and I promise we'll be back to legal topics for the next video. Bye.